Coffee out day.
Guys in the Gulf.
Recording?
Yep, 100%. That's counting. Yep.
Oh, well, I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? That's Friday.
I was about to say Thursday, but okay, no, I think you are right.
No, because the beer truck comes on Thursday.
Yeah, roger.
That was yesterday.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we're back again. Guys in the Gulf. Thanks heaps for joining us, guys. Probably start off, as usual, by thanking our sponsor, YEB Fishing and Wilderness Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Eve.
Hopefully going to go visit them in the next few days.
Yeah, you've only been here a few days, mate,
Yeah.
but been playing up a little bit.
Yeah. Big Pete's fault.
Oh, absolutely.
We're getting closer to getting him on the podcast, guys. We're actually at his house right now. We're actually set up in his shed. He's a real person. He's inside. He got his meat order today, so he's pretty happy. He's mincing.
Well, half of it.
Yeah.
Half of it yesterday.
That's what I was trying to explain to him. As I went into Barra with him yesterday to pick up his meat order, and only half of it was there. And that's, I explained that Jazz, my wife, used to always call it Freight Day Bingo. Sometimes you receive someone else's stuff, and sometimes you don't receive yours. And
I'm sure it's the same in all little places
Yeah.
out in the bush and that. Like, yeah, stuff gets misplaced and put with other people's gear and that. So
yeah, is your headphone level too high?
it is way too high.
Okay, is that better?
I wasn't going to complain.
Yeah,
I'm not a
mine was-
complainer.
Yeah.
I was just going to deal with it, mate. But since you whinged about it, I'll whinge about it too.
You could have half eared it. You could have half out. Anyway.
No, all good.
That's a bit better.
Yeah, that's heaps better, mate.
Yeah,
heaps
cool.
better. So speaking of that, small towns, what's been going on, mate? You've been back for a few days now. Plan was to come down. We're going to try and do a bit of, little bit of fishing content for you.
Which on day 2, got here on the afternoon of one day. The very next day, we're out in your crab boat, heading down the river. Which is something which was I didn't realise how out of the ordinary it would make me feel, because it hadn't sort of computed that it's been like a year and a half since I've been in your crab boat going to do a crab run with you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, obviously with Cyclone Megan and all the flooding and that last year, the crabbing season, we've spoken about it before. Last year it sort of shut down and the crabbing was not so good, so there was no real opportunity to make content there.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I suppose like last year I didn't work bugger all really in terms of crabbing. The cyclones delayed the start to the season, and then when we did get started, it was pretty slow. So, and then I think we went away together to Podcast Royale.
Yeah.
And when I got back from that, I only did sort of a few weeks, and then it sort of wasn't viable. It's like, obviously running a fairly big fuel bill and bait bill and stuff like that. So, so it just wasn't really viable to keep going. So put it off until this year, and obviously I've been going for a little bit now, but same thing. I've been holding off starting until there's decent enough numbers to actually make it viable to keep working. So, but it's picking up now slowly. I mean, I get asked if I got one decent crab for every time somebody asked me how the crabs are going, I would have retired 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's one of them things. It's only because people care and they're genuinely interested. But when you get the same question every day 45 times, that's why you probably notice I don't ask him. I don't ask him how'd you go today, how the day was. When you'll have stories for me. I'll just wait and I'll find out. Because I know how it is.
I don't know. It's funny because obviously people are very interested in it, but then at the same time, it's like it'd be like,
if you're a doctor and say, how many patients did you see today?
Or
that was busy.
Copper, how many speeding tickets did you give out, or anything. Plumber, how many shit houses did you fix? Like I don't know. It's one of the things when you're doing it all the time. Like I had just someone coming to me this morning. They said, looks like an unreal job. You got the best office in the world, all that stuff. And it's like, well, it is, and we're very lucky to get to do it. But same time, it is a job, and it's it's not all sunshine and roses, as they say.
So with all that being said, how'd you go today?
Not too bad, mate. Like, there's definitely better than last year. Like, there's absolutely no doubt about it at all. Definitely better than last year. The crabs have really picked up. There's a lot of crab around. There's a lot of sort of poor quality, like empty crab and stuff. So, But
which that's bad news for now, but for a few weeks' time.
Yeah. Well, they'll get full, you know. So they'll come back, and it's it's definitely good signs for the future.
So to give everyone an idea, like how many might you get in a pot, average sort of thing at the moment, total crab, even including ones you throw back?
Yeah, say it depends, but like some spots you might get like 5-6 crabs in a pot.
Yep.
But you might get one, you might not even get one out of that.
Okay.
That's worth keeping.
So you're catching heaps, but the ones, and even if you want it, there's no point you keeping the empty ones, but you're not even allowed to, are you?
Yeah, no, you're not allowed to. So, well, there's different grades, like A grade, B grade, C grade, but then they call, like if the crab's proper empty, it's called CUC, so commercially unviable crab. And you're not allowed to keep those. If
as
you
a commercial, like recreational fishermen could do whatever they want.
Yeah. But there'll be no point because you're going a lot of effort to look after them, keep them, cook them and everything like that. And then you break them open, there's no meat in there at all. So even like a C grade and poor B grade crab is it's not worth really keeping. So we or try and keep only the best ones, and then you got to remember too is that there's a bit of a lag time between catching them in the crab pot and then them being on the restaurant table. So, like any animal, when they're kept, they can, they'll lose quality over time. So, if it's 10 days, an A grade crab might already be a B grade crab after 10 days, especially at the moment because a lot of them are only just getting good.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really, really picky about what you take. Yeah.
I even heard you say to your old man just 10 minutes ago that with the quality of them, like there were ones that when you got it out of the pot, they seemed all right. By the time you went back to a spot and tied them up, they were already slow. You're like, I'm throwing them back.
Yeah. Well, obviously test it like you've seen how it work, like pull them out of the pot and check them straight away. And
it's like a pre-test sort of thing.
Yeah, just check them quickly. You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to test them too many times either because you can make them soft by pushing too much on them. But quickly check it. Quickly check them underneath as you pull them out of the pot, and then when you go to tie them, obviously check them again, double check them, and really press harder in the right spots. But even half the ones that you check and they feel heavy and they feel good, but by the time an hour and a half, 2 hours later after you finish your run, it might be 3-4 hours later when you finish checking your pots, you pull up at the end of your run and go through and sort them out to time. And even today, like you throw them back 50% or something,
Yeah.
So and that's the ones that you've already sort of half graded already. So
yeah.
So there's a lot of crab there, like there's no doubt about it. But yeah, they're just a bit crap.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the crabbing side of things. So the excellent news that there's numbers coming in. So that's a good sign for as the year goes on. Hopefully they'll keep moving in and quality will improve. But how about barra fishing, mate?
Oh, well, mate, you already know the answer to that.
I do so.
No, it's been unreal, mate. It's been and heaps of people actually. Like we've had some guys come over from Townsville. That come every year, sometimes twice a year. One of the guys from that group, and they're fellas that know what they're doing as well. Like they're not novices; they really do know what they're doing. But one of the guys was saying to me, it's the most barra he's ever seen here.
Oh wow!
It's been pretty good, and even. I think I've mentioned in earlier podcasts, like earlier in the year, there was people that hadn't been here before that hired a boat off us and went out and got, really good fish and that. So that trend sort of kept going. Obviously, this time of year now, we start to get to more like the grey nomad type tourists and a lot of people that aren't particularly fisher people.
Yeah, and that also coincides with colder weather as well. Which can make barra harder to find. Yeah,
so it depends who you ask. Like you can ask 15 people in the caravan park how their fishing's going and they might tell you it's no good. But if you speak to people that that know what they're doing, the general consensus is exactly it's a pretty bloody good year.
Yeah, exactly the same thing as when people ask about the quality of the road here. Like, what's the road like?
Yeah.
And it depends who you ask. Like for us who have been here for over a decade, Ash a lot longer than that, but the road's the best it's ever been. But other people 100%. Go, oh, geez, it's starting to get a little bit corrugated up the top. You're just like, no. There's no cattle sleeping in the corrugation. So.
That's it. The kangaroos aren't hiding in the shade of the corrugation.
That's the one. Yeah. But yeah, so with the Barra being on, yeah, we alluded to the fact that I knew about the Barra and.
Well, people would probably would have seen, mate, that I put that little post up the other day, a little, what do you call it, reel?
Yeah.
Only because you got up me and told me to do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot that one. Yeah, so that was before I was here. Yeah, you put up a thing at night on your barge.
Oh, no, even before that. No, when I was going down the river in the barge.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you on Messenger.
Yeah.
Because I had Starlink on, and you sent me messages like, do a quick reel, you dog.
Yeah.
Do a quick reel and put it in the rod locker or something, something like that anyway. And then I was, bloody hell.
Yeah.
I wasn't really in the mood for it, so I walked out the front. And
I know you were, but that was after like an hour you hadn't done it, so I just wrote another message saying, do it. And then you did.
Yeah. So, put a quick reel. And that went bloody, went silly. I don't know why. It's such a silly
60
little...
or 70,000 views or something like that.
Yeah, so, but anyway. So... Yeah, took the barge down and parked it up back down the river, and as we've spoken about so many times, at night time under the lights, the barras congregate there when there's a lot around, and this year's absolutely no exception. There's been so many and then I did put another thing up in I think it might have been just in the rod locker.
Yep.
Showing how many barra were, and I was in bed, I just came out for a quick look, maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night, and there's just barra just everywhere there. And then you came down the other day and gave me a hand with some stuff and pulled up the night, and I didn't fish at all. You had a bit of a fish, and
well, it started off because I'm all about the content. I want to make sure good video and that, and it's not the best fishing off the front of your houseboat or your barge, and I don't know, just for angles and whatever. Then at night time, it's just not it's not as good. But so when I started fishing at maybe 5 p.m. I'm like, oh geez, it'd be great to get one or two fish, or even just one fish while the sun's still up, because it'll just look so much better. And you were inside. I think you're on the phone. And thanks, Elon.
Cheers, Elon.
So I just grabbed it right. I thought, I'll have one cast just to test the waters. I had one cast and hooked up to like an 80. Like I had it on for 10 seconds. It was a proper hook up. It jumped a couple of times. I'm like, and then popped the lure. I'm like, bugger. So I just went back and opened the door and said, all right, I'm just going to come in quickly, get my chest cam and my other GoPro and set them up. Because I just hooked up onto an 80 on my first cast. Went out, got my cameras on, pressed record on both, cast, got another barra and landed it. I think that was the only fish you landed for me on the night.
Yeah.
You landed that one for me. But then after that, I just kept fishing for maybe, on GoPro, on that footage, I filmed for an hour, I reckon, and probably got 20-ish legal barra, maybe 15 by then, legal barra. So it's the sort of thing you're getting a barra. Sometimes in consecutive casts, you're getting barra. Sometimes it might be 3 casts later. Sometimes
very rarely to get a follow. Very rarely to get a cast and we don't at least get a follow or a hit or something.
Yeah. So it was just crazy, and I thought, how do we take advantage? Because I'd recorded an hour of this, so there's no point for my YouTube channel making an episode where I catch 40 barramundi, and you don't want to see every single fish being caught. It's the same old thing every single time. So
yeah.
So I thought, how do we take advantage of this? I've already signed off from YouTube, but I know the fish are still biting. So we got my phone out, went on TikTok live, and it ended up being the most fun. It is people watching me catching barra cast after cast live. And Ash got his phone out and was watching the live with the volume down on his and reading the comments out to me. And I was answering some, and then sometimes he would just pop up and answer a comment, just to answer comments as well. So it was almost, it was a good little team effort there. And he's just sitting back there sipping beers, and I'm there. Every single fish I caught after that, I'm landing myself as well. And I was exhausted by the end. I had to take breaks every now and then. Hard work, man. But I reckon probably 40. I've been telling people 40. I heard your old man retelling the story to someone else.
It was 80.
He got up. I think, the first time I heard it was 60. Then it got up to 80. Yeah, but no, realistically, 40 legal barra, maybe 2 undersized barra, and they were all caught one after the other. And then all of a sudden, I did 20 casts and no barra. But then I got a golden snapper. Then I got a tarpon, and then I got another golden snapper. So it was almost like the feeding time for barra finished.
What lure are you using?
Oh, you don't want to know, mate. You don't want to know.
No, you had 2 rods.
Yeah.
So you had your jabbers.
True. I'll give you the first.
Wanderlust.
The first one, the hard bodied lure I was using for some of the time was the Dazzler by Masterbait.
So Darren
Crawley, yeah, he's a fan of the videos. He comments on stuff.
Which you can buy them, I think, like service stations and stuff like that.
Heaps of servos throughout Darwin and the Northern Territory, in Barra as well. Yep. Yeah. I'm not sure if they sell it. They might even have it here. I don't know.
Maybe,
At King Ash Bay, I'm not sure. You might be able to get them here. But yeah, Dazzler, it's like, I would say it's an imitation bomber sort of thing.
But it's like
it's a shallow diver.
Yeah, very shallow diver, very small bib. But it's a very small. It's the profile is probably only half the size of a bomber.
Yeah, I suppose it is a bit thinner, a bit smaller.
Like pencil thin sort of thing.
Yeah, it is small, but it worked, and I got it on that.
Carney's been using them a bit.
That's right. Yeah. I know Carney uses them, and Barra, he over in Wyndham. I've seen.
Oh
him. Yeah. He calls out Dazza all the time. Thanks, Dazza. He'll catch one on there and go, "Oh, thanks, Dazza." Yeah. Yeah, and then the other lure on my other rod was the Barramundi Party Mix. I got heaps. That just has the single hook in it, so it was easy to use that one. So
Catch and release,
the hook doesn't get stuck in the net, and then also I can just take one hook out, throw the fish back, fairly easy. So yeah, the Barramundi Party Mix. So that's the ones that are available on my website. But even during the TikTok live, I was telling people to look. There's heaps of people. Oh, what lure are you using? What lure are you using? I'm like, look, I'll tell you what it is, but don't go on and buy them. Don't go on because I pack them all by hand. Because my wife doesn't want to pack them, which is fair enough. She does so much. So so she doesn't pack. So I pack all of them, and it's just very fiddly. So I'm like, look, because people watching will be like, oh, I need to get some of these lures, but realistically, you can throw anything out there, and I can prove that you can throw anything out there, or you can as well. 2 nights earlier, Ash was casting out just a jig head and catching barramundi.
Yeah, little jabbers jig head that Brad gave us last time.
Yeah.
He gave us a few packets of them to try out, and I was just mucking around, same thing, like just I'd already caught a couple of Barra for fun, only catch and release, and so. I thought, I'll just try one with just a jig head with nothing else on there and see what happens, and then straight away, bang, Barra.
Yeah.
So and I ended up catching like 5 Barras on just a jig head with no plastic at all. So it just goes to show how much they're feeding and how keen they are.
Yeah, but that's what I wanted to add as well. Anyone that's watches that, because I'll make an episode out of it. Anyone that goes on and watches that, don't be disappointed if you were to say, I want to do that. We'll get some lights. We'll go down the boat and spend the night down on your boat and fish off the back of your boat. And it doesn't work out like that, because not only there's a few factors.
Yeah. Obviously location's got to be right. And then the time period, like you can't be there just for like a few hours with the lights on. This sort of, the fish start to congregate there after being there for several weeks. Yeah. So it's something you've got to sort of be living there all the time.
Yeah. And then there was another factor as well. Oh, yeah. So there are some nights when we're down there and you'll see miles of barramundi, like right there in the water. And they're even feeding. But we'll be throwing out lures and they just will not touch them. We've thrown out liveys in front of them, little live mullet, and they're flapping around in front of their face and they will not take them. It's just just some nights they're just like that.
You've just got to be Johnny on the spot.
That's so what was it, 2 or 3 nights ago when we were down there? That was off tap. That was the best best Barra session I've ever had in my life. And that's, I don't know if we'll ever be able to replicate that. That was just crazy. So when you watch that episode, just
take it with a grain of salt. It's not.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be disappointed if they come up here and they try and do what we do, and it doesn't work out the way they hope. Yeah, so it's
at the same time it could do, but
absolutely.
You got to get up here and try for yourself. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and you do it enough.
And if you got to stay here for several weeks, spend your money at the club and whatever, so be it.
Yeah, very comfortable beds at the King Ash Bay Lodge.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that was that night. Then the next day I went out crabbing with you, which as I said was pretty bizarre. Heading out there, I totally forgot the one rule on the boat, which is always hang on at all times. It was obviously like there's no mucking around getting from pot to pot. Like you're not out there for fun. You're there to work. So yeah, just make sure you're holding on, because between pots it's like full steam. Yeah.
Oh, it's so easy to forget too. If you're out of the peripheral vision, it's so easy to forget that somebody else is on the boat because you're not used to having somebody there.
Automatic,
much. So, yeah. Having said that, I've had so many people want to message and say they want to come for crabbing or they want to come for a thing. I can't take people crabbing. Like Mikey's literally on we've got a crew, like a legitimate crew list that
is registered and
that's registered. You got to be go through fisheries and stuff and get it all sorted. So it's not it's not something that you can just like sort of turn up and go, can I go for a run with you? Like it's we're actually not allowed to have passengers. So you've got to be on the crew list and stuff, which is a bit involved in doing that. So I appreciate everyone that's keen to come out and have a look, but it's not something you can do easily sort of thing. So give people a heads up on that.
Yeah.
Because we did actually I just put a thing on the on our page and like on Guys on the Golf page and in the Rod Locker asking for questions, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's a question comes up again, because it's come up several times before where people say, "Oh, can you give me a job?"
tell me a question that you know for a fact, even though we haven't read it, that you know for a fact will be in there. I know what one will be.
Oh yeah, there'll be where's Mullet?
Yeah, that's the one.
Where's Mullet coming back? What's Mullet doing? Where is Mullet?
We cover that every episode, every time.
Yeah. Even in the TikTok live the other night, there was 16 questions in a row. Where's my Mullet?
Because obviously people are coming and going. Like at any one time, I think the highest we got to was 166 viewers at one time. But when I looked at all the stats, it's like we had like 6,000 views. So 6,000 people came and went. So as a result, people might have stayed for 10 minutes to watch, then off they go. Yeah, so we do get that question a lot. So he's fine, by the way. He's in Queensland.
Yeah, he's all good.
Yeah,
he's all good. I was speaking to him the other day again.
Yeah.
It's all under control.
Yeah. So he's just not in the Northern Territory. He's working in Queensland. He's not in prison.
Well, we're going to do some. We're going to do some shout outs, mate. We need to do some shout outs to, mate. We've got some new Patreon. Members.
Bullfrog. Thanks, Bullfrog.
Thanks, Froggy.
Well, it just literally, I saw one come through that says B Frog. So I assume that's Froggy. Yeah. But so we do have a Patreon, which you guys can we don't really upload too much there. We do a little bit, but not too much, nothing too exciting. So, but we do get people that wanted to show a bit of extra support to go on there and shout us bloody
so
$20 a month or something like that. So it's pretty much one beer a week for us.
This is how much I go on here. I don't even know how.
Beers.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I don't even know how to. This is how much I go on here and look at bloody who's on there, mate.
Yeah, I'll get confused on the app on my computer. It's way easier to use.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, we got 3 new ones. Anyway, one's Jack Olive, obviously.
Jacko,
Jack. He was on the live the other night too. He's I think running Gora fishing.
That's
and
right.
he sent in some videos and stuff, some stories and that before.
Yep. Thanks, Jacko.
Yeah, cheers, Jacko.
Pretty much anything legend, we do, he gets behind.
Yeah, everything.
He was the very first person when I put the Barramundi party mix when I announced that. Within like 4 minutes, I had my first order, and it was Jacko. Yeah,
legend.
Yeah. So he's actually come here to King Ash Bay earlier this year. We got to meet him. Got some photos with him and stuff like that, which was good.
Bullfrog, we know Bullfrog.
Thanks, Froggy.
Bullfrog's been on the podcast before.
Yeah. Thanks, Froggy. Thanks for your support, Froggy.
And latest one is Trent Gillingham.
I didn't even see that one.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Trent.
What a legend.
Unreal.
Thank you.
So thanks everyone for your support.
Yeah, we do really appreciate it. Obviously we've only got a handful in there, but we do really appreciate it. It's Yeah,
you never know. If we can grow that up a bit as the podcast grows, we can grow up, get a few more people in there and actually get enough sort of funds in there that we can start doing some cool stuff, maybe some giveaways and
that's
some things like that.
Plan, isn't it? I mean, we've been speaking about it a bit. What we can do, because essentially, obviously, we get a little bit of revenue from Acast, like from the actual podcast through like Spotify and iTunes and stuff. A little bit from YouTube, and then a little bit from Patreon. So at this stage, we haven't even looked at looked at any of it really.
Well, the amount of money that's come in hasn't even covered the equipment we bought.
Yeah. so essentially though, what we're saying is that when we work out when we get enough that's worthwhile actually send the invoices out to get to actually claim the funds, then we'll do something.
Yeah. Yeah, well, while we're sort of doing shout outs, it's not a shout out, but a bit of a sad one. Probably the most active member, or in the top 3 at most active members of the Rod Locker, Troy Fiore. Yeah, he sadly passed away. He had been sick for a while.
And he'd come to King Ash Bay.
Yeah, I wasn't here. I unfortunately didn't get to meet. Oh, sorry, I gave you the wrong one. I unfortunately didn't get to meet him, but I had sent him messages before. You and I had sent him messages, and obviously always commented on his posts and things like that. So yeah, we found out, and one of his mates posted about that, and so I was sad to hear. So
people might have seen it in the Rod Locker.
Yeah. We keep mentioning the Rod Locker. If you're new here, the Rod Locker is our closed Facebook group. So if you jump on and search for Guys in the Golf, the Rod Locker, and you find a group called the Rod Locker, that'll be us. And you sort of have to apply to join. And
if you answer yes to all the questions, you'll get a tick. If you answer no to all the questions, you won't.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much there's only one question. If you answer no to, it'll be I'll just leave it sit there. But as long as but
anyway,
you can anyone can join. And so that's what we've been talking about a lot here with the Rod Locker. So
and obviously Troy was a very active member in there. He posted heaps of videos,
about fishing and crabbing,
all sorts of stuff. Commented on everything.
On his trip to King Ash Bay, I reckon he did like 6 posts a day. It was and I was up in Darwin, and I was living through him for the time.
So cheers, mate. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. Very sad to hear of your passing, and very glad you got to come up to King Ash Bay again before you left us. So cheers, brother.
Yeah, and I hope all your mates are doing well. Yeah, reach out, guys, if you're struggling or anything like that. Send us a message. Yeah, it'd be good to hear from you. Anyway, what's something positive happening?
Something positive, mate. Well, we've got sort of getting the crew back together a little bit.
Oh, getting the band back together.
The Bullfrog's back in town. He's been away for a little while.
Yeah.
He's been going on little jaunts around the countryside. So he's got a bit of leave at the moment. So he's back on site. And
technically, he's gone back off site briefly, but he'll be back on site tomorrow.
Yeah, well, if he doesn't end up in Beijing or
anyway,
Afghanistan or something, I don't know. Who knows? But no, Froggy should be back.
I've always wanted to see a rocket launch. You'll end up over at bloody SpaceX,
or North Korea. Who would know? No, he's a legend. Froggy's an absolute champion. He's up and down. He's on his way back down. Hopefully, he should be here tomorrow, and he's in tow with Ant.
Yeah, convoy.
So we've got a plan to do something with them. We're going to do.
Yep.
I think you might have mentioned we're going to try to slip out to Weeby and do something with Brett.
Yeah.
We actually had and the reason you're here and the reason Anne's come down because we actually had a big thing planned, which sort of fell through because the person that was coming through had some issues with their trip. So which is no dramas. We're going to postpone that one and do it again later on.
So that'll be good. Yeah, having the boys around is always good fun. Bullfrog and Ant. Wonder when Shredder's off.
Well, I think he's off, mate. But he's
down south. Roger. And and Mick's not here either.
Yeah.
So there's always people coming and going here, isn't there?
But that's the plan anyway. So we're going to do that. I think we might try and get all of us to go and spend a night down on the boat or something as well. Maybe.
Oh yeah. I can't believe it. You were saying that Ant hasn't caught a barra or hasn't had one of those nights on the barge. No,
because he hasn't been with me for years.
Yeah, he spent so many nights on the barge with you.
Yeah. Well, that's gone back like 3 years ago now when we were working up the coast.
But he's never had one. Yeah, wow.
And so he came and met us up there 3 years ago or something maybe, and spent he came up there a few times and spent some time up there, but I think there was only ever one barra caught off the boat up the coast.
Yeah, wow.
I think that was Ant on the last night I had the boat there because the next day I brought it back. So yeah, and he's helped me so much too because he's done heaps of work on the boat. He's bloody helped me do the like the worst jobs too, like scraping the hull, anti-fouling, doing all the painting, which is like if for anyone that's never done any work on a boat like that, like it's literally crawling under the hull whilst it's on the trailer or on the hard stand, scraping with the barbecue scraper the barnacles off the bottom of the boat and and cleaning it all, and then and getting covered in absolute crap while you're doing it, and then having to mask it all up, then paint it all and everything. So Ant's done all that stuff, but he's never really had a great trip, I don't think, on the boat. So he's well and truly earned his stripes.
In fact, he built this table.
Yeah. He might not be impressed about the screws you just put through it today, so we can mount these microphones.
Pete said. Yeah, but how good is it?
Oh, it is pretty good.
A little add-on there. I even routed the edges. Yeah, I've never used a router before, but Pete said, no, you'll be right. Okay. Yeah.
Bloody hell. So anyway, we've got some plans anyway. Hopefully the boys get down and we'll be able to do a few runs myself and then get some fishing after work. See how we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's the plan.
Yep. What were you going to say, mate? Nothing. All right. I was going to say, do you want to just jump straight into the rod locker? Because we put out a post. We've done this a few times now, folks, where we've put like just before we start recording, we say, all right, guys, post your questions. If you've got any questions, we're about to record a podcast. So post them in there, and we'll answer them.
Well, let's just have a look. There's
see if there's enough in there to start with that. Otherwise, there's probably plenty we can. Oh, you mean actually look at posts in there? Yeah,
so I was just going to scroll back through quickly and see some of the posts that have been put in there because we haven't done this for a little while. So
I see Russell O'Donnell. He's posting in there sort of every time he's here.
He's another top contributor. Yeah, absolute legend.
Typically a like outside reef fisherman.
Yeah.
Always catching big reds and in fact probably the last podcast I think I remember putting up photos of some of the bigger fish he got on that trip, on his last trip. But he's posted since then, but we hadn't recorded a podcast.
We've got a few things in there, mate. So obviously another one that's posts all the time and he's got the top contributor badge is Kevin Blatchford.
Yeah.
He's an absolute legend. He's put a post in there about collecting a bit of driftwood or a bit of timber or something from down Jenny Flatsmith's camped here.
Yeah.
And took it home and then sanded it up, polished it all up and sealed it for his missus for a hat rack or umbrella stand or something.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely unreal. Another one in there from Aaron Hope with a couple of monster goldies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he does say in there that it's a few years ago and it does look like an older sort of picture.
Yeah.
And it's not from here, I don't reckon.
Do you want me to tell you about monster goldies?
Go on then.
Yeah, our mate Azza from...
that's coming up.
Oh,
that's
it's in there, is it?
I reckon.
From One Tide Charters, the big trip we did last year to the Kimberley, and we're going back out in October with him from Wyndham. We need to talk about that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Azza, he posted a couple of photos of he's recently got some absolute stonker golden snapper. There's one photo. It's funny that when he sent me that photo, because before he put it up, he sent it to me. I'm like, you're kidding me, aren't you? That one was just such a good photo. That one's actually smaller than another one he's posted in there. But it doesn't, that one is...
Unbelievable, eh? Yeah. It's good fish.
Yeah.
That is good fish.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was on the Jabbers rods too, eh?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, the snake charmer.
Snake charmer, yeah.
Yep. So another Jabbers rod doing the hard yards.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the bloody goldies. But as I say, he's the skipper owner. His family, or he owns the Kimberley Explorer, One Tide Charters. 2 podcasts ago, we announced that we were that we're doing a trip to Wyndham, and departing on the boat from Wyndham and doing 8 nights, and we invited you guys to come along with us, like it's like a paid trip. You put it's organised through One Tide Charters, but you come along and basically spend 8 days with us and fishing and spending time on the boat with us and all that sort of stuff. And before we put even though we had recorded the next podcast and still spoke about it again in the second one, it was actually sold out before I published the second podcast. So in less than a week, all 6 spots were filled. So Yeah, I think they got a lot of inquiries, like a crazy amount, which is so good. Because I was,
we're pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, we're so excited because we're worried that like, what if only one person books, or something like that. We thought, no, it filled up straight away. And yeah, so the guys that booked straight away, thanks heaps. I think I've been in touch with every single one of you. We've started.
Well, not only that, but I think with the amount of inquiries that we've had. Just ourselves, that have asked about it, that were people that we knew or that we've met that said, "Oh, mate, we're super keen to go on this trip. Like, what's the, do you want to message, let us know a bit more about it or something?"
Yeah.
And obviously, because it's a one tide charter.
Yeah.
That we're tagging along with basically, and people are coming along, and we're just promoting it for them, sort of thing. So it's not it's not for us to be profiting from or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a trip for us as well. So I put people onto one side, and they go, oh yeah, no, they reckon it's sold out already, and I reckon the amount of people that I've spoken to that have made inquiries have would have easily filled a second trip, sort of thing, which is unbelievable. Considering we've only, relatively speaking, we've only got a fairly small audience at this stage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I was very very happy to hear that it's sold out. So yeah,
it's good to go. And you guys out there, you want to come out and meet us and come fishing and spending time with us and.
I'm really looking forward to it, mate.
So this isn't a sightseeing trip like we did last year with all the waterfalls and whatever. I'm pretty sure this will just be a dirty water trip, like and
chasing fish, fishing,
Barramundi fishing, and it should be really good.
In the East Kimberley, so I think we're Durban.
I do the same. We always
Wyndham to Wyndham.
Yeah.
So good on you, everyone that's booked in on that, and all those that try to book and are on the backup crew. I think they might have a few people on the backup crew in case somebody has to pull out for some unexpected reason. So, really looking forward to that trip, mate. It's going to be a ripper, I reckon. We only spent sort of one day there last time, which we went for a run with Snagger. This time we're going to be doing our own thing, I think, and. Go and have a look and see what we can come up with.
Yep.
Put our skills to the test.
We will so.
The Toyo's going to be fairly heavy going westbound, I reckon.
That'll be good.
Bloody hell.
I reckon we should just jump straight into them questions. Do people start writing through? I'll go on the page.
Okay, I'm in the rod locker. So
okay, I'll go on the page.
Right, do you want to just start off with the first one?
Go on.
I know you will do it, but just call out to Troy and thank him for all of us, mate. What a way to go out. No sympathy, just give it to the end. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, obviously.
Who was that posted that one?
Craig Hucks.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So thanks, Craig, for that. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, we have already mentioned that, but absolutely, mate. Yeah, yep. Thanks very much to Troy for all his posts and all his comments and, his engagement in everything that we've done. It is greatly appreciated. Kelvin Mason. Cheers, guys.
That's what I got as well. Oh, I'm in the rod locker. What am I doing? I'm meant to be on the
wrong one. And the next one is Mick. It looks like the crabs are on, mate. Is the mullet coming back? We knew it would happen.
Yeah.
We knew it would happen.
I would like to think he's still got a place here. I'd like to think that he would come back and visit every now and then. But no, he's working over in Queensland, so I wouldn't expect him to be sort of living here or anything like that any time soon.
Mick Todd's got a question in there, which is one I reckon I can answer. Hey, fellas, I'm wanting a decent travel rod and have decided on a Jabbers Australia 5-piece. What I haven't decided on is which one to buy. What would be the best all-rounder for chasing Murray cod on lures and Barra on live bait? Love your work, lads. Keep up the potty. YouTube's and YouTube videos come well. Yep. See you in Wyndham in October. Cheers, Mick.
So start Jappers rods. Let's start with that. And
they have so many. Okay,
I've been on their website. I do get overwhelmed when I look at rods and people ask me about them. Like, I can definitely, and you probably too, you can speak about the one, because you've got several rods, I've got several rods from jabbers. Tell them, like, for Murray cod and that, like, you already know which one is the go for sure.
Well, I reckon if you want it all around, that you're going to, like, especially if you're chasing big Murray cod, and like obviously Murray cod get big like Barras, you know, in excess of a metre long and whatever, and you know, around the trees and that fairly heavily. So you want something you can really rip into them. I can't go past the Wanderlust, and it depends if you want the spin rod or an overhead rod. But as an overhead rod, like I have the Jabbers Wanderlust, and then I have a Tranks high gear, like I think it's a.
Yes, that's the one, right? For an overhead rod, it's just got the one big handle on it.
Like the power handle on it. Yeah.
Is that the one you were catching the big dewies at Wyndham?
Yeah,
with Snaggerbar?
Yeah.
Did you already say that?
I didn't know, but
yeah.
it's the same one, and I'm pretty sure Snagger's got the same one now.
You're right, Pete. You don't need to be that quiet, mate. It's got Big Pete join us out here. He's finished cooking. We could smell it. It was crazy. It smelled good. But yeah, make as much noise as you want, Pete.
But yeah, I reckon that the Jabbers, Wanderlust for me for an overhead rod, 100% is the go. Like that's especially if you're live baiting for big Barra and stuff. Like it's just it's an absolute beast of a rod, and you can still flick small lures and stuff with it, as I have.
Yeah.
Like I've caught everything just about on it. So it's definitely my favourite by far.
From that all the way through to metre plus dewies and
100%.
So that would be definitely the one to recommend for big cod, Murray cod and that.
And you can take it out and you can use it for jigging offshore as well. Like it's got that extended butt piece that you can plug into the bottom of it, and then you can use it for jigging out for nanny guys and reds and stuff like that outside as well. So so for me that would be the one.
Yeah, and full disclaimer, it's like the Jabbers have given us rods. We're not sponsored as such by them.
Yeah.
So but we definitely recommend them. We absolutely love them. Well, they're the only rods you use anymore, really.
Yeah, 100%, pretty much, mate.
I still use my little chopper rods. I still love them.
Yeah, I've still got one too, which is good to throw on the dash of the Toyota and stuff that you can bash around. But obviously the Jabbers rods are
higher end than that.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
I can't get messages. I don't know what's going on. So you're message boy.
Okay. Colin Evans, how's the crabs after last year? I think we've talked about that already a fair bit. So, I mean, better.
Heaps better, yeah. There's lots of crabs. Quality, not so much at the moment, but that will improve hopefully over the next couple of weeks.
Bob Alexander, doing another KAB trip in August, will be number 6 for us. So we've mostly got the fishing under control. We also like shooting pigs, so my question is, can you point me in the right direction for finding somewhere to shoot a few pigs fully licensed and insured? Not really, mate. Sorry. A lot of people ask about that. Yeah, a lot of people ask about hunting and stuff, but it's like pretty much the whole way around here is either Aboriginal land or pastoral leases. And, I mean, obviously, the pastoral leases are... So around King Ash Bay, for example, it's all pastoral leases through... like Coolinta Holdings. So we've got Bing Bong Station and MacArthur River Station, which are both like a subsidiary of Coolinta Holdings, which is a subsidiary of like MacArthur River Mine or like Glencore. So so it's the sort of thing like if you wanted let people on at all. If you wanted to do it legally, like to try and get permission, that probably wouldn't be possible. Not really. You'd have to really know, and then a lot of the other pastoral properties in the area are big pastoral properties that are owned by like AOCO or CPC. There are obviously several other privately owned pastoral properties, but without knowing the people personally, I don't know how you'd go. And to be honest with you, around here, it's not like going up into Arnhem Land or to the western side of the territory or up the Cape York, because we are sort of it's savannah country here. Like it's the road's called the Savannah Way for a reason. It's savannah country, so you don't see miles of pigs. There are pigs and buffalo and that sort of stuff cruising around, but it's not many. Like it's not like you see on the hunting things on YouTube and stuff like that. You've got to be right onto it to sort of work it out. So I hope that sort of answers your question. There is no definitive way we could put you onto anyone, really. Yeah. And pretty much if you're going to do it here around this area, you would probably be doing it illegally. So we would, we can't really Which we definitely don't condone that. What else we got, mate?
Bit slow, eh?
A little bit slower. It was only 50 minutes ago, so
Oh, yeah.
I've only got a handful through there.
Well, we can do song nominations and potentially come back to that if you want. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a real good one this week that had a little bit of a story with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's not too much of a story, but it's just one that probably should have been in the list before. Yeah, you were up on the roof here the other day, just over there. And then Big Pete was sitting right there next to me, right there. And he said, I did the old Buffalo, if you played pokies before, you'd know that sound. And then Big Pete thought I was singing. So then he starts singing Buffalo Soldier. And then that was my song for the day, Buffalo Soldier. Like, I couldn't get it out of my head. And I'm like, because we're talking about big buffalo on the roof and hopefully it doesn't fall through and that. And yeah, I'm like, oh, buffalo. And we had the two buffaloes. Like people always call us the two buffaloes now. So yeah, Buffalo Soldier, Bob Marley. Send it to the list. This is the Golf Mud Crabbers playlist, by the way, on Spotify. Yeah, so it's a public list. There's probably 1,200 people that follow that list now. And as we scroll through it, when we first started, there was like 10 songs, 15 songs, something like that. But now
it's getting up there now.
It's a proper list now. And we don't on the podcast. We obviously do a song or two each. If we have a guest on, we get them to nominate a song or two. But if we're just sitting around having a few beers, sometimes we'll just nominate a song, or someone will play something. We're like, oh, that's awesome, and we'll just go send it straight to the list. Yeah. So if you see ones pop up, you're like, oh, who nominated that one? If you're a real close follower of it, sometimes we just add them, and they'll always still have a story. But yeah, what do you got, Russ?
Well, I've got half a story.
Oh,
anyway, and because bloody Ant-Man sent a song just in messages the other day. Just sent me a random message of a song, a link to a song.
Me too, yeah.
And yeah, and then when you got here, you asked me if he'd sent me a link to a song, and I'm like, yeah, it was with zero context.
Yeah,
just sent the links. So, but it was he knows as well because it was definitely one that sort of resonates with us, I suppose.
Yeah.
I know it's Irish.
Yeah.
So, but it's called All Around the Town, The Rattling Kind.
All around the town. It's a catchy song.
Yeah, it is a catchy song, and it's it tells a bit of a story in that. So it's it was right on point for I think the playlist and that.
Yeah.
So
we need to wait for tomorrow for him to get here so we can find out how he found the song, who showed
get
him.
an explanation.
I reckon because he does a lot of remote work and a lot of remote travel. I reckon he was at some roadhouse having a beer and a snitty. And the backpacker behind the bar was a young Irish person, and he's
plausible.
Yeah, and they're putting on Irish songs. And he's like, oh, I'll show you a few Irish songs, and because we've got a few Irish songs in the playlist that we love, and they go, I'll show you. I can't do accents. I'll show you one, and that might be it. That's my story. We'll find out if that's remotely close to the truth.
Highly plausible.
Tomorrow.
Highly plausible.
Yeah.
What else have we got on, mate?
Oh, well, Big Pete's made 20 kilos of mince today. I brought a big mincer down, picked it up from... Oh, we definitely need to talk about... speaking of mincer, I picked up the mincer from... It's called Coolangatta Guns and Ammo.
Yeah.
But so if you live in Darwin...
But it's not in Coolangatta.
It is not in Coolangatta. So it's very... If you don't know about this shop yet, I think it's Holt's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Pinelands Holt's.
If you don't know about this shop and you live in Darwin, I'm about to get you. Yeah, you need to walk in there, especially if you're people like us and you like cooking, like smoking meats and the rubs and everything.
Yeah.
So it's right near BCF. Where the new Bunnings is. Well, I shouldn't say new Bunnings. It's been there for 5 years, but
Pit Lane.
Yeah,
Pit Lane.
Yeah. So just a little tiny bit upstream towards Darwin from there, like 100 metres, little area there. Yeah, Coolangatta Guns and Ammo. You walk in, they've got all of their firearms and holsters and all their stuff. But there's a little door to the left, and it opens up into another room, and they've got everything from minces to huge wall of knives, like everything for butchering. A wall of rubs. They've even got King's gear, like swags and and 12,
like Adventure Kings.
Yeah, 12 volt ovens for cars and other than minces, like they've got other big smokers and Pete's trying to tell me bandsaws. Okay, rightio for cutting meat and that. Yeah. But yeah, so I spoke to the fellow there. I think he might be the owner. He seemed to know what he was doing, and he was talking about he has an event on. He had it on last year, but because it is, I probably shouldn't say the G word too much because this could get flagged for something, because that's what happened with his Facebook page. His page has been like totally taken down because it's too much controversial content, I suppose, whether it's hunting, I don't know. So yeah, but yeah, he's got an event on the 14th of June, so that's coming up soon, and it's called Beat the Meat. So I think it's a meat smoking competition.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be the winner.
But yeah, Beat the Meat. He said he held it last year, and I do remember it being advertised on the radio, I reckon. And he said he will advertise on the radio again, but he can't sort of get the word out online and on socials because of the style of shop that he has.
Yeah.
He's just been totally blocked and can't do stuff. But anyway, Beat the Meat, that was, what did I say, 14th of June? Yeah, that'll be a cool event to go to if you're in Darwin. Because, I think they'll have a few teams, held out the store. I think maybe out the front, obviously being smoking, they might. Yeah. So it'll be pretty cool. So I did say to him I'd mention it.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Absolutely. It's right up our alley.
Yeah. So, I bought it. So I went in there to Big Pete ordered a big mincer. And so he's been, while we've been recording this podcast, he's just finished, I think, cryovacuing all the mince he made today. I think it's brisket mince. He was aiming for 18% fat. I think it's up towards 30.
And if you're looking for big cuts of meat too, you check out NT Meat Shack on Facebook, mate.
That's where the meat came from.
That's where the meat comes from.
Yeah.
They got briskets and all that sort of stuff. So if I get briskets and stuff from Darwin.
So there's no storefront, is there? You have to...
Nah, not really. But if you just message them on Facebook, mate, they'll sort you out. But yeah.
And they update the price list like once a month or something. They'll put up a new list.
Yeah, just find them on Facebook, NT Meat Shack. Send them a message on there or whatever. But Adam always looks after us. But he, tries to give us some good product and that. So most of our beef and that, I suppose, comes from there.
Yeah.
I know Pete's just about sending to retirement with the order he did this week. He's bought up half the warehouse. So, although only half of it turned up initially, he's got the whole lot now.
Freight day bingo.
Poor Big Pete was travelling around town yesterday looking for his boxes of meat that were missing, which happens quite regularly. But he found them, so it was all good.
Yeah, wicked.
And he found them at my place too, which is funny. And I've ended up at their other shop. So there was a comment though on one of the posts you did the other day, which is I think it was just refueling the generator on the roof the other day, and you put a photo up.
Yeah.
And Alan Patzak, his comment on there. You bloke's been doing a bit of manscaping. what the hell is that about? Oh, God. A lack of manscaping, I'd say. Mikey's got a beard and I haven't shaved for bloody 3 years by the looks of it in that photo. I can't grow a beard, really. So, anyway. What else is happening, mate? Not much, really. I don't know. There's not really much happening around King Ash Bay at the moment that I know of. I'm not sure of any fishing comps or anything coming up. Yeah, no, she's all pretty quiet. Although,
that
I shouldn't say it's quiet.
The powered area is pumping.
It's, there's plenty of people camping in the powered area. It's a good time of year to be here. It's cooled right down now. The weather's been good. First bushfires sort of kicking off over in the background. We can just still see the smoke from 2 nights ago.
Yep.
So definitely we're into the dry season. It's cooled right down.
I had my hoodie on this morning.
I'll tell you something interesting, though.
Yeah, go on.
What's been really interesting is how high the tide has been.
That was stupid when we were down. I was with you.
Well, it's been more so anyone that knows like the Davies, for example, where the crabbers camps are, like the old crabbers camps, 2 days ago, I could have driven my boat around
the back
of the crabbers camps.
Yeah, water's way up
across,
on the
like it was 500 mil, 600 mil of water up over that flat. I could have driven literally the boat around the back of the camp and back into the river. Like it's been
like
crazy.
that in like today.
Yeah. Well, the tide's later again this afternoon, and I sent it back pretty quick to come back and do this. So but the tide was still ripping in while I was there. The tide's supposed to be big, but it's not that big. Like that's the biggest tides I've ever seen there.
Yeah,
like the most water I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
up water up behind there. Yeah, it's not what was predicted.
Yeah,
because it wasn't meant to be. It was high tide, yeah, but it wasn't like massive high tide. Yeah,
yeah, definitely not. No, definitely not.
We did have. Oh well, because I don't understand the weather probably anywhere near as much as you do, but because we had all that rain around as well. Like we didn't get rain.
That's something we haven't mentioned.
Yeah, we didn't get rain
Like
here, but
Catherine,
it looked like it could have rained.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like almost like build-up weather.
Yeah. So
and then that was, I think that was the night that like Trent from Rod and Rifle Tackle World in Catherine.
Yeah.
He put up a video of the Catherine River running 6 meters. And they had like nearly 200 mils of rain or something like that, like 8 inches or something of rain overnight.
And what's the date? We're almost in June, aren't we?
Yeah, almost. Like, June's like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah. So by the time this goes up, it'll be June. Yeah. So it's like we've just like it's literally the Catherine River is in flood. Like what the heck? So I hope that means good news for downstream, like the Daily and that. Where that might sort of extend the runoff season. I don't know. We sort of were trying to work that out because it's not. It's all sort of dirty water coming down, so it might. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's good for the pastoralists and stuff. I know for some people it'll be an absolute pain.
Yeah.
Anyone that's growing hay or anything like that will probably be pulling their hair out.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you've already cut it and it's in the paddock.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, I think Brett's about to arrive on his quad bike. Oh no, that's my mum, maybe. It is my mum. on side by side. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows everyone here. Yeah. Anyway, we better get that charcoal lit.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a feast tonight, I think.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Shut it down.
Shut it down, Bruss.
All right. It's gonna be good.
Righto, mate.
Good to be back. Easy
to do it. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Guys in the Gulf.